This novel sneaks philosophy into a coming-of-age mystery that will upend your worldview. Skip it only if you enjoy being intellectually bored. Plot and structure. A rabbit and a letter start Sophie on an unforgettable chase. Gaarder frames the story as a mystery dripping with philosophical breadcrumbs. Sophie receives anonymous questions and lessons, and the reader learns alongside her. Chapters alternate between narrative scenes and concise philosophy lectures. This oscillation keeps momentum while preventing information overload. Midway, Gaarder breaks the fourth wall with a metafictional twist. Characters realize they might exist inside another person's notebook. The stakes escalate from a simple identity puzzle to existential survival. Clues are planted early, rewarding attentive readers with satisfying payoffs. The final garden party scene resolves the mystery, yet leaves cosmic questions open. Structure mirrors philosophical inquiry. Start with wonder, end with further wonder. Flashbacks clarify Sophie's family dynamics, grounding the cosmic discussions. Letters from Hilda interject, creating suspense through nested narration. Gaarder uses everyday Norway settings to contrast colossal philosophical themes. Seasonal changes parallel Sophie's growing intellectual maturity. The novel's midpoint carnival mirrors Plato's cave, bright yet disorienting. Scene transitions feel cinematic, helping younger readers visualize abstract material. Foreshadowing hides in casual dialogues, rewarding meticulous rereading. Philosophical content. History of thought becomes an action sequence instead of a classroom slog. Gaarder compresses 3,000 years, from pre-Socratics to Sartre, into digestible vignettes. Each philosopher appears when their ideas illuminate Sophie's immediate predicament. The synergy prevents the lessons feeling tacked on or preachy. Complex doctrines get boiled into striking metaphors, like the woolly jumper analogy. You grasp epistemology while Sophie hides behind a tree, spying on her tutor. Ethics surface during a prank, proving philosophy shapes real choices, not abstractions. Gaarder never claims final answers. He invites permanent dialogue. The result is a democratic primer that flatters the reader's intelligence. Teachers still assign the novel because it balances rigor with narrative pleasure. Mythic stories of Thor and Zeus introduce ancient explanations before rational philosophy. Gaarder stresses curiosity as the motor of intellectual history. He contrasts deterministic Newton with freewheeling romanticism using witty garden analogies. Existential angst peaks during a thunderstorm lecture on Kierkegaard and dread. Marx enters through a discussion about Sophie's allowance, linking economics and freedom. Gaarder seeds modern dilemmas like climate change, showing philosophy's ongoing relevance. He invites readers to question why certain voices dominated while others were silenced. Such historiographical honesty strengthens the book's credibility and contemporary resonance. Philosophy turns fearless when Gaarder connects abstract doubt with daily choices. Characters and themes. Characters embody questions rather than psychological depth, and that is deliberate. Sophie starts curious, grows skeptical, and finally becomes self-aware of her ontology. Her mentor, Alberto Knox, functions as a Socratic voice, guiding but not dictating. Hilda, the mysterious reader, represents us, flipping the perspective inside out. The father, Major Knag, raises meta-ethical issues about authorship and responsibility. Theme of free will surfaces when characters rebel against their creator. Identity dissolves as Sophie wonders whether memories define existence. Gaarder also critiques consumer culture by contrasting material gifts with intellectual wonder. The novel suggests true adulthood begins when you question inherited narratives. By the end, characters ask us to wake up and keep asking. Pet animals, Hermes the dog, become symbols of communication between worlds. Sophie's mother offers comic relief and skeptical challenges to philosophical jargon. Friend Joanna illustrates the contrast between ordinary teenage concerns and cosmic questions. Gaarder sprinkles Norse mythology to anchor themes of fate and prophecy. Recurring mirrors remind readers that self-examination is an endless loop. Ultimately, the cast argues that storytelling itself is a philosophical act. Letters within letters create a hall of mirrors effect about narrative authority. Gaarder threads feminist ideas, showing Sophie resisting passive student stereotypes. The tension between autonomy and authorship drives the emotional heartbeats. Reading experience and verdict. Reading feels like attending a carnival run by philosophers. The prose is plain, even naive, which lowers barriers for younger readers. Veterans may crave richer style, yet the clarity serves the pedagogical mission. Pacing occasionally stalls during dense historical digressions. Still, narrative stakes re-engage once metafiction intrudes. The translation reads smoothly, though some jokes feel dated. Audiobook versions amplify the lecture sections with vocal nuance. I finished the last page wanting to reread Prehistoric Thinkers with fresh eyes. Verdict: essential for teens, worthwhile for adults, and unique within contemporary fiction. It may not replace a philosophy course, yet it sparks the desire for one. Short chapters create natural pauses for reflection or discussion. Illustrations in some editions boost retention of abstract diagrams. My teenage cousin tested it and stayed engaged despite zero prior philosophy. Adults might predict twists, yet still relish the clever narrative architecture. Rereading reveals foreshadowing you missed during the first whirlwind tour. I recommend pairing the book with a notebook for spontaneous questions. Classroom discussions often springboard from the cliffhanger chapter endings. Libraries report high circulation, proving the story endures across generations. Read the full deep dive article linked below for more insights and historical context.